Hey everyone, so I have a bit of time this morning, so I thought that while I am waiting to go out, I thought I would do another film ramble. I wasn't actually going to do this, I was going to be doing the total film page flipping for this month, but obviously I don't have my tripod with me, I am in a hotel, so I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to do another film ramble. And if you've never seen these videos on my channel, it's just a more relaxing approach at discussing films. This will be considerably longer than a lot of my videos because it's not really for information, that's not the intention. The intention is to just relax us all to the sound of noisy traffic outside my window. Hopefully that will not persist throughout the video. So I thought, since I don't have my book of films watched with me to do this, since it's quite a spontaneous video, I thought what we'd do, and we will have a more closer look at this in my actual total film page flipping when I do it, but they have this feature which is the 100 greatest movie moments. I thought we'd go through some of these and see what we think and at least see which films they've featured. I was going to obviously go into detail about all of the moments they've picked, but when I was reading it I realised that they give away spoilers. Now, with the films that I haven't seen, I can't tell which ones are spoilers, but they mention a certain moment in Seven. I love Seven. And they give away this massive spoiler. Like, yes, that is a really great moment and it's absolutely fantastic, but it's a spoiler. So I kind of don't want to go into too much detail about the moments they've picked, so I thought we'd just use this as a starting point for mentioning different films. And the first one, in at number 1, is Gladiator, which I haven't seen. And I do plan to see it because a lot of people love it and praise it, and I think as a film fan I should see it. But when it comes to Russell Crowe, I'm kind of like, actually it's down here sort of, yeah. So eventually I'm going to yawn. You wouldn't think it's only like 8 o'clock in the morning. And the second film, I really love, the second one is The Shining, 1980, and it's so beautiful, and I just think Jack Nicholson does it absolutely fantastically. It's so well acted from everybody in it. I did actually try reading the Shining novel from Stephen King in about 2011, 2012, but I couldn't get into it. I made like Joey and put it in the fridge, not because I was scared, but because I just didn't like it. So I don't know if I just wasn't in the mood for it at that time. I mean, I may give Stephen King another go at some point, but the film is brilliant. We have something here called The Seventh Seal, which I will show you this picture. I hope it's not a spoiler. But it's a medieval knight and death playing chess. And doesn't that just look absolutely fantastic? The one before that is The Godfather, by the way, which I've not seen and I can't comment on, but I don't want to tell you what the moment is because I think it's probably a spoiler. Number 5 is The Thing, which I've seen, and that's very, very good. I really was quite pleasantly surprised as I didn't have high hopes for it. Then the next 3 we have are Drive, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and Citizen Kane. I know a lot of people like Citizen Kane. I haven't seen it. In fact, there are quite a few films in here that I haven't seen. But thankfully quite a lot that I have seen, so I feel a little bit better about myself. The Princess Bride is in at number 9. Now, I haven't seen that since I was a child. I'm not sure I was the right age to watch it when I saw it, so I kind of feel like I should watch it again from an adult's perspective and see how my opinion differs, partly because I don't really remember it that well. But, yeah. Excuse me. It's so hot at night just now, like the back of my camera as well as the sun's coming in the window. So I'll probably be quite delirious by the end of this video because the sun's baking into me. And it was so hot last night I barely slept and it's like, ugh, so I'm so tired. Number 10 is Mean Streets. Number 11 is This Is Spinal Tap. Number 12 is Scream. Now I love horrors and thrillers and anything that's terrifying and weird. Despite that, I haven't seen Scream since, since I was about 11 or 12, and I think that's why I haven't seen it, because I was quite a timorous child. I was terrified of everything, the slightest bit of horror, and I was like, no, no thank you. But I ended up watching Scream when I was definitely too young to watch Scream. And it did truly terrify me. I mean, I was even scared of Scary Movie a lot of the time. So I haven't actually ventured to watch Scream since then. So if you think I'd enjoy it, let me know. I mean, now I have such a high threshold for horrors that it probably would, I think it would scare me, but it wouldn't give me a sleepless night. So I'm kind of keen to watch it and get back into it, or get into it for the first time, I guess. Plus I'm always in the mood for a new series of films, so I can kind of binge watch them. Network, which I haven't heard of, but it's about a TV anchorman who rants on air, which sounds up my street. We have Up at number 14, which is a perfectly good film. I like it. I'm not a die-hard fan like a lot of people are, but I do like Up. Terminator 2 at 15. Something called Old Boy at 16, from 2003. Then we have The Bridge on the River Kwai at 17, and I haven't seen that, but it's just, it features in so many top hundreds and the best films and the best this. I feel like I need to watch it. And that's from 1957. But it's described here as a World War II epic, which I think sounds interesting enough. Number 18 is a scene, I won't mention which scene, but it's a scene featuring Puffed from Ghostbusters, the original Ghostbusters of course. I still haven't seen the remake, I'm waiting for the DVD. Number 19 is the shower scene in Psycho. I think it's kind of, I realise from a cinematic perspective why it's so revolutionary. It was a massive breakthrough, and they used chocolate sauce for the blood, which is always going to be something really interesting. You know, I want to suck your chocolate sauce, it's, you know. But for me personally, I didn't really enjoy Psycho as a film. I realise I'm in the minority there, though I do understand that. Apocalypse Now at 20. 7-Year Itch in 1955, which as far as I understand, just waiting for the sirens to go past, as far as I understand is the film in which Marilyn Monroe does the infamous subway grate lifting up her dress thing. Now, this one sounds interesting, and if you know anything about it, let me know. It's called Dance of the Red Shoes. No, it's not, it's called The Red Shoes. They've captioned it Dance of the Red Shoes, 1948. I just think visually it looks really, really pretty. And Great Escape is at number 23. My foot is gone to sleep. I'm going to take my foot out from underneath my bum, so I may lose a bit of height. Yes. The problem with being 5'0", chairs are never high up enough, but then my legs don't touch the ground, so I can't win really. 24 is The Gold Rush. 25 is something called The Usual Suspects. Fargo at 26. And then number 27 is that moment that I was on about from 7. It's the moment with the box. So if you've seen it, now that's not going to give anything away if you haven't seen it, but it's the moment with the box, and it actually tells you what's in the box, and it's like, really? That's a huge spoiler. So cars are driving me crazy, I can only apologise. Number 28 is The Terminator. 29 is a film that I actually really hate, and I think I hate it because I've got pins and needles in my foot. That's not why I hate it. It's Bambi. And I think the reason I hate it is because it's so sad, and I just cannot watch sad animal films. I cannot do it. Even Cats and Dogs, the movie, terrifies me because I just want to cuddle all of the cats and take them home, and it makes me really upset. But I just don't like Bambi. Number 30 is Raiders of the Lost Ark. I'm in a lot of foot pain just now. Number 31 is another film that I didn't really like, and that's The Exorcist. Again, I just didn't find it scary, which is a shame because, you know, so many people are terrified of it. 32 is Rocky. 33 33, I'm not going to tell you what it says because it will spoil it, but one of my lecturers, I had a lecturer at university when I was doing my degree, who was a big film fan, and he often would compare texts to certain films, presumably because it would make it more relatable, although as a literature student I kind of couldn't help thinking, can't you compare it to other texts? But anyway, one day he was given this example from Gravity, and at the time I wasn't that bothered about Sandra Bullock. Right now, I had a dream about Sandra Bullock last night. It just came back to me. Anyway, back then I wasn't a big Sandra Bullock film fan, yes. I hadn't seen Gravity. But this lecturer gave the ending away. But then when I was reading this yesterday, I read the little bit in here that's about gravity. It's just a few lines. And that doesn't mirror up with what my lecturer said. So I'm really pleased about that, because now I can watch Gravity without knowing how it ends, because this is basically the exact opposite of what my lecturer said. So I'm really, really excited now, and I do adore Sandra Bullock, so that's really excited. Number 35 is Pan's Labyrinth. Again, a classic, but I didn't like it. That was number 35. I've missed out number 34. Number 34 is Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. 35 is Pan's Labyrinth, which I didn't like, but number 36 is Blade Runner, which I didn't think I'd like it. I watched it when I was studying film, because, little known fact, when I was in my first year of university I actually did English with film, and Blade Runner was one of the films that we had to study. I loved it. I truly loved it, and I think that and Die Hard, we watched Die Hard as well, we had to study that. Those two films kind of made me realise that actually I have a broader taste in films than what I thought I did, so that's very good. Number 37 is Star Wars Episode 4. Number 38 is Planet of the Apes, the 1968 one, and just reading this description it sounds very different to Tim Burton's. I only watched Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes last week, in fact, because I was putting it off because I've only got 2 more Helena Bonham Carter films to watch and I've seen them all. And one of the last ones was Planet of the Apes, and I kept it till last because it's the film that brought together the Bonham Carter-Burton partnership, and it was fantastic, and I'll talk more about that in a video at a later date. But it makes me really want to go and see the original Planet of the Apes and Return of the... Oh, I'm so rude. I do apologise. Return of the Planet of the Apes and things. Am I playing with my hair a lot today? I think I am. Good news is the sun's gone in. Saving Private Ryan, number 39. The French Connection at number 40. Pulp Fiction at 41, which again I didn't like. And I have this, I always think that I like a lot of the classics, and I think when it comes to comedy classics I love them, but when it comes to things like other classics, I struggle to get on board with them sometimes. I think I might have a very niche taste when it comes to the films I place on a pedestal. 42 is Don't Look Now. 43 is Spartacus, which I haven't seen, but I watched Meet the Spartans the other day. That's just reminded me that, and it's quite weird. 44 is another one that I haven't seen, and it's a Wonderful Life, and because that is such a massive classic, I've kind of been putting it off because I'm worried that I won't like it. And if I were to say I don't like It's a Wonderful Life, do you ever feel like if you don't like a film that's so popular you're inadequate? Like, there are so many films that are so high up there that people love, and if I say I don't like it, I feel like my opinion's wrong. I don't know if that makes sense. And it's just a bit weird. But yeah, I am looking forward to watching it eventually. 45, Go to God Again. Excuse me. 45 is The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. And 46 is North by Northwest, which is a Cary Grant film which I didn't think I would like, and I loved it. It's very action-packed, and the scene they mention, it's not a massive spoiler, but I'm pretty sure it's actually the scene that's on the artwork, the DVD cover and the poster. It involves a big dusty plane and an aeroplane. That's the scene that's mentioned if you've seen the film. which to be honest I don't think is like one of the greatest movie moments of all time. So I'm not sure how they compiled this list. A lot of them that I'm aware of are great, but a lot of them that I'm aware of I also think, really, it's not that great. But, you know, I guess the problem is there are so many films, millions of films out there, that how do you narrow it down to just 100 fantastic moments? 48 is The Third Man. 49 is E.T. And halfway, number 50 is When Harry Met Sally. 51 is Aliens. 52 is Trainspotting, which again, I did not like. 53 is My Neighbor Totoro, which I've been meaning to watch, but I'm concerned it's going to freak me out. 54, Touch of Evil. 55 is A Space Odyssey. And 56 is Alien, which I have seen, and it's, yeah, it's a very good film. I did enjoy it. 57, they quote, "Just put your lips together and blow." Wise advice. That's to have and have not. Number 58 is The Wizard of Oz, and the moment that they've mentioned is when it makes that transition from black and white to colour. And while I detest The Wizard of Oz, I don't like it. I do see how fantastic that would have been as a cinematic breakthrough to go from black and white to this sudden burst of colour, and obviously the colours in The Wizard of Oz are so vibrant that it's just really exquisite and very revolutionary. 59 is King Kong. 60 is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, which I've never read. I've never seen it and I've never read it, but I think I'd like to read it before I see it. So I kind of need to get my act together and get on with that. 61 is Cool Hand Luke. 62, The Raid 2. 63, I completely agree with as a moment. It very much shocked me. 63 is Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. I can't really read out what it says because it is a spoiler, but it's Gandalf's finest moment in that film. I'm sure you'll know what I mean if you've seen it. 64 is Sleeper, apparently something to do with the banana skin. 65 is There Will Be Blood. 66 is Ring. What was considered? Is it? How do you pronounce the original Ring? The Ring title? Is it Ringu, or is it like the Welsh language where the U and the I are pronounced oppositely, or the Y? I don't know what I'm talking about. In my head, I know what I'm saying. Anyway, yes, that. It's when Sadako crawls through the TV, which I think is one of the most sinister TV moments ever. Apparently, the film was run in reverse to accentuate the unnatural movements, which I think is really interesting. 67 is The Wild Bunch. 68 is Singing in the Rain. 69 is Reservoir Dogs, which I didn't like. 70 is The Dark Knight, which I did like. I really like The Dark Knight, and it's the pencil scene. Apparently there were an awful lot of complaints. In fact, I'm not going to tell you what happens with the pencil scene, you just need to watch it. Apparently it says here, it helped the 12A rated film become the BBFC's most complained about of 2008. So that's quite shocking. 1993's Jurassic Park at 71, and I haven't seen Jurassic Park since I was a child. So I need to watch it again and then watch Jurassic World, because I think it's something I would really enjoy as an adult. 72 is the 1995 film Heat. Number 73 is Battle of Helm's Deep from Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. 74 is Casablanca. 75 is The Matrix, and I think I reviewed this. The Matrix is one of those films where it's all style and no substance. But I don't actually mind it too much with The Matrix because the style is high up there, it's wonderful. Number 76 is Back to the Future, and that's a massive spoiler. It basically tells you how it concludes. It's a bit of a shame. But I do agree with that moment. If you've read the magazine and you know which moment it is, I do agree. The Dolce Vita at 77. Something called The Searchers at 78. 79 is Monty Python's Life of Brian. Not really a Monty Python fan. 80 is Goodfellas. 81 is Star Wars Episode 7. The Force Awakens. 82 is Dirty Dancing. Would you believe it? I've never seen it. It's just one of those films that I'm so sick of hearing about. It's like Grease. I hate Grease. I love the songs. And if I see Grease on stage, like if I go and see Grease the musical on stage, I like it because it's just so lively and everybody in the audience gets into it. But if Grease the film is on TV or somebody says, hey, why don't we put this DVD on? I'm like, get out of my life. I hate it so much. It's done. 83, Some Like It Hot. 84 is Jaws, which is the line, you're gonna need a bigger boat. And honestly, I surprised myself by just how much I liked Jaws as a film. I did not think I would enjoy it, and I loved it. And I'm pretty sure somebody's cutting grass outside or something. And I can't wait to see the second one. I definitely am supposed to be prioritising that. I thought it said Pokemon there. 85 is Battleship Potemkin, but I thought it said Battleship Pokemon. 86 is Ben-Hur, the original 1959 film. 87 is Goldfinger. 88 is Doctor Strangelove. 89, which I think might be the most modern entry in here. I'm not aware of another 2016 one that's in here, but this is Captain America Civil War. I haven't seen it, but it's something to do with an aeroplane. If you've seen the film, that might make sense. Is that a good moment? I don't know. Taxi Driver, are you talking to me? Number 71 is Mad Max Fury Road. 92 is Schindler's List. This is the moment with the red coat, which I completely agree with. Number 93 kind of made me realise that I'm really concerned for whoever compiled this, because, you know, some of the moments I agree with, some of them I've got no idea what they're about. Number 93 is Toy Story, fair enough, but it's the moment where Buzz, well, I'll read out what it says in the description. Buzz Lightyear falls with style thanks to a bouncy ball, a Hot Wheels track and a plane tethered to the ceiling. So it's where he spins round. And really, is that one of the greatest movie moments of all time? Is that the level of competition we're dealing with? Because I could think of 100 movies that are considerably better than that moment. So I just thought that was a bit of an odd one to include. And then maybe other similar odd ones that I'm not actually familiar with yet. Excuse me. Number 94 is Whiplash. 95 is The Truman Show. 96 is The Shawshank Redemption, and I think The Shawshank Redemption is full of so many wonderful moments that they've done well to pick one. 97 is the transformation of an American werewolf in London, and apparently an Oscar was actually won for that transformation, for turning into a werewolf. And actually right now, right this second, I am about 4 minutes away from the pub in which they filmed some of the scenes for that film. It's not, you can't see it from my window, I'm at the wrong side of the building, but I'm actually about 4 minutes away from the pub that, if you've seen the film, it's the pub that the two American teenagers go into before the transformation happens. It's like just over there somewhere. And I've been in it, it's a nice pub. 98 is the 1978 Superman. 99 is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Number 100, I really agree with, as a kind of launching the end of it here, is Silence of the Lambs, and it's the, it's Hannibal Lecter's own recipe. Hopefully that won't give away too much. But yes, so some of those moments I definitely agree with. Some of them I've got no idea what they're actually about. And some of them I think, were you on acid when you chose that? But do feel free, if you've made it to the end of this probably obnoxiously long video. I don't know how long it is since I had to stop the camera halfway through. If you have made it to the end, please feel free to let me know which movie moments you love. At the moment, like if I forget about Tim Burton's films, because obviously Tim Burton's films have a lot of fantastic moments for me, but I'm quite biased because they have a deeper emotional connection. But in terms of films that I've seen recently, I would say my two favourite recent movie moments would be that one line that just freaked me out from The Visit, which I talked about in a recent video I did called Is The Visit the Scariest Film Ever? FYI, it is. And the other most striking movie moment is from Juan Antonio Bayon's film The Orphanage. And it's when the mother finds out what has happened to her son. That, and also about 20 minutes after that when something happens to the mother as well. Those two moments in that film just made it from perfect to beyond perfect, and I just loved The Orphanage so much. At the end of this year, which is only 3 months away, I'm going to be doing another top 5 films watched in 2016. I did this last year. It was difficult. I think Saving Mr. Banks was kind of the only one last year that I knew had to be at the top of that list. This year there are quite a few films because I've really branched out in the genres and I'm watching a lot more horrors. I think it's going to be really difficult to pick my top 5 of all films that I've watched in 2016, bearing in mind I average around about 30-40 films a month on a good month. So we'll see. If you have made it to the end of this video, well done. I could make it to the end editing it back. I very rarely actually edit my ASMR more relaxing videos because I hate the sound of my own voice, and to listen to myself for like half an hour is just nah. But the sun's gone in, the back of my camera no longer feels like it's about to combust, and I'm going to go and find some graves and then head to where I need to be. So thank you for watching this video, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.